Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to another Creative Warrior online program powered by Vidyadan in association with Lovely Professional University. We are back with the day two of this wonderful workshop that started yesterday on how to shoot like a professional with our very own Mr. Abdul Noushad ji. Abdul Noushad ji needs no introduction, especially after yesterday's session when we have attended. He's been a responsible photography. He's been doing responsible photography from school days, changing from lenses, upgrading, updating, and his work has been published in many magazines, posters of Wildlife India, Ministry of Forest Environment and Climate Change, Manorama, Femina, Gems and Jewels, lot of magazines and a lot of publications, including Mayoori Women's Magazine that gets published in United Arab Nations. And of course, he's been a specialized photographer for wildlife, fashion, and 360-degree virtual tour photography. So we have learned a lot yesterday. We are back again with Abdul sir. Sir, welcome you back. We welcome you here.
Good morning, Pooja.
Good morning, sir. So your volume is a little low.
Yeah. I think I'm audible right now.
Okay. Yes, absolutely loud and clear. So I think today we'll be able to answer all the questions of our audience. You guys send in your question. I can see there are few on Zoom and there are mostly people on YouTube. Do share your question in the chat window and we will get them answered at the end of the session. Right, sir?
Okay, thank you.
Yes, okay. So you have the rights to share the screen and we are all set.
So good morning all. So today is our second day. I hope most of our participants are now live right now. So I'm going to share the screen now. This is where we stopped yesterday. So we have been discussed regarding the basic controls and lenses and many other things yesterday. So today we will be, start with our white balance presets and white balance, why we need white balance in a camera need to be set. Okay. So you can see that, in almost all camera comes with, even our mobile phones also coming with the white balance setting built in. Mostly, there are very few people might explore through our mobile phones the setting of white balance, but it is there in most of the cameras actually. So these are the the white balance icons listed here. These are the settings given by the camera manufacturers. So around 90% of our camera companies providing the first picture and the that settings actually. In few camera manufacturers, a couple of options are missing actually. Something like custom white balance, especially for the amateur cameras. Actually, it will not be there actually. Apart from that, all other auto white balance, uh, daylight, cloudy, shade, tungsten, fluorescent, and flash. The white balance basically setting to our camera. We are communicating the camera that we are working in this lighting environment. So for most of the case, if someone starting photography, or as a starter, you can always opt for automatic white balance, because the camera will having some presets auto white balance setting actually. So once you are exploring things, you can shift, we can see the difference between daylight, cloudy, So basically, that measurements will be, listed. If you're going to custom white balance, it will be showing that your camera will be having a white balance setting starting that is mentioned as a Kelvin setting. Actually, 2,500 onwards, 8,000, or in some cameras it's up to 10,000 or 9,000. Actually, you can see that the normal settings what we set for our white balance. The color tendency towards 2,500 or 3,000 will be something very similar to cool color and warm color are the shades. You can see that orange, more orange in the orange, or yellowish in the 2,500 belt, and darker side you can see that shade after the 7,000 onwards it will be listing as cool color, actually blue shades and the darker blue actually. So basically, as uh, I want to say one thing, that the camera is purely purely it is not a color intelligent device actually. So we need to tell the camera that we are shooting in this lighting environment, or this ambience is what we are going to do the works actually. So once we clear settings about the balancing the colors, that especially now we are setting the color, especially the white correctness is correct, then all the rest of the colors will be correcting actually. So in short, that is the easiest way to explain white balance. Then we go to the next slide. Okay, this is metering. So you can see that metering screen actually. So almost all camera we can see the metering. What metering basically, what the sensor is getting, the intensity or the exposure intensity of the light, then based on that the sensor giving us a reading through the viewfinder as well as LCD actually. So normally almost all cameras it will be either from -3 to +3, or -2 to +2 in MH starter cameras actually. This is where we decide whether the lighting conditions are normal, under, or over before clicking our pictures actually. So this is the value we determine that we go for a click or not actually. So how the metering happens in a camera? So the camera companies uh, given the metering setting. Almost all camera companies giving us minimum 3 options to set our metering actually. This is specific to the subject, or our center of interest in the photography. So uh, basically what metering we need to be set based on the subject, or the area we are going to shoot, or a field, how much field we are using in the our frame yeah, in photography actually. So as an example, if you are working with a very small subject, the entire frame reading, light reading is not required actually. So the camera company are giving us some basically at it, almost all camera minimum there will be 3 settings. So some are giving 4 settings, even recent models are coming with 5 settings actually. So basically it is the metering. The first one, we can say that evaluative, or in some camera it will be a matrix, or in some camera it is uh, matrix evaluative. That is a common term actually used, or average. In some cameras it will be listed as average actually. Then you can see that in this right side of second thing is there is an option called the partial metering. Then there is a spot metering, then there is a center weighted metering. So basically, this menu basically from the Canon cameras. So Canon is providing us, an extra metering mode called partial metering. So this what metering we need to be decide on what the subject we are going to shoot actually. So from the right menu itself, you can see that the evaluative metering. You can see that the red color is throughout the red color, and it is taking the entire frame. Actually, we can see that what all things we see in the viewfinder, it is taking the average of the entire area actually. So regarding what happening inside the camera is, there is some dedicated pixels to read the intensity of light actually. So if you select an evaluative or average or matrix metering, what happens is, depends on the camera models, the range of pixels dedicated for metering will be different actually. So professional cameras, some cameras having a dedicated pixel of 3 lakh plus entirely for metering actually. That means if we have a 24 or 20 megapixel camera, the 24 megapixel means 2.4 pixels actually. From that, we are only using 3 lakh pixels for the metering purpose through the entire viewfinder, or for the end from the entire sensor actually. So that's what about the evaluating and the matrix, or so there is certain algorithms, the changes the if we take the case of Canon actually. So in the evaluative, they compare with some like they have a balanced environment, like highlight, low light, and giving us an average reading actually. That's what. So the second one, that is, we are talking about the Canon specific actually partial metering. So you can see in the slide itself, it is clearly, this will actually evaluate you the highlight, low light, average, and giving us specifically the backlight, or the areas which having the more brightness area, especially for the center area. So the more or less, we will be getting a few in real time. We'll be getting almost there will not be much difference, but maybe I can say that 10 to 20% difference will be there only on the evaluative and partial metering. But in case of the third one, spot metering is entirely different actually. Spot metering is, we are taking uh, if you are taking generally 3 to 8 percentage area of the screen, or viewfinder will be uh, chosen by the camera for the metering purpose. That means, that if you're taking the 100 percentage of the entire frame, we are getting metering less than 8 percentage. In between, depends on the camera to camera actually. You can say that in a 3 to 8 percentage. So that is the only area we are getting the light as normal, or normal, or below the normal rates, or over under or over that. So again, if you are taking the center, if you are comparing with the last one, center weighted average metering, center weighted average metering means, the in center weighted, the same thing happens. There is slightly increased pixels dedicated for the metering. Almost all cameras center weighted pixels, center weighted metering other. The center portion, 30 percentage 30 percentage will be activated for the metering. So if you are composing a portrait, or only the center portion are we are used for the framing the subject, means we can go for the center weighted metering. So we must be very careful selecting the metering before shooting actually. in some real time, what happens is if somebody is working on a function actually, so few pictures are taken from inside a room. Then after that, immediately it goes out and taking the pictures actually. So and we can our functions are very quick, and we are chasing with some in a good moments. What happens is if we are not changing the metering on time, means we will lose the frame entirely. If we are working inside and going outside, means it will be completely spoiled actually. So as a safe bet, evaluative metering will be, or matrix metering will be, ideal for the starters actually. So once you are familiar with all that shooting techniques and fine with the camera operations, you can go and selecting the selecting the metering based on the subjects you are shooting at. And for higher end cameras, spot metering having a lot of options, something like it is spot metering is linked with the uh, AF points we are selected for shooting actually. So when we change shift the AF points in the frame, particular points, then that point the spot metering takes metering only from that selected autofocus points actually. But that is only available for few camera models, especially for the higher end model. Otherwise, it will be taking again from the center. So this is generally the settings about the meter. And the left side, you can see that correctly exposed meter under -2 levels, and the next one is 1 plus actually. So over actually. What happens is if it is going for underexposed meter, you will have dark color, dark side more. It will not be having proper light on the exposed things. Over means it will be completely gone out, and will be more light over light. We'll say that it will be some blown up, or we'll say that it is completely bleached. So this is this is a very critical setting need to be selected from the camera one before you shoot a subject. This is the basic thing about the metering actually. So again, as I said, there is like metering, we have also options to select the AF method, that what kind of AF need to be selected before shooting. So base again, almost all camera companies are coming with three options. One is a single shot. In some cameras, it is written as single shot or one shot. Then we have a servo or AF continuous. In some cameras, the terms will be AFC, AFS. That is the generic term used for. So we should careful about brands. What this specific AS servo is listed in AF continuous menu from the Canon models actually. And Canon, another option is AI focus. It is basically a mix of settings that what we are getting using one shot and AI servo actually. So we'll look what is one shot. One shot, normally it is listed as a still objects. We can say that one shot metering, once we press, want to try to press the click button. Normally the click button is, what we normally set for shooting, F. And once clicking means the focus will be comes first, the focus will be low. Then it the will camera giving message to the shutter to open it actually. So one shot, the good part is if you select one shot or AF single, the camera shutter will be released only after locking the focus actually. We can say that it's a safe bet actually. But so this setting generally used for static subject or generally normal things actually. So if you are doing shooting something our center of interest or subjects have slight motion or slightly moving around in different motion in different or keeps changing means definitely we will be we need the precise moments to be focused and we need to freeze the action also. So in that case, we will be selecting if continuous. So continuous means it will track the last moments and will getting the focus on the last moment. So what happens inside the cameras is if we are taking the one shot means normally almost all cameras use infrared for the focusing. It is a single loop actually. The once infrared rays emit from the camera, it goes to the subject and it's rebound back to the camera sensor. So camera senses once the distance, it will calculate the distance based on that, then the focus is locked. That is the one shot. In the second mode, second option, AI servo or AI, in some cameras it will be listed as AI's continuous or continuous servo actually. So in that case, this process, while we pressing the dedicated AF button, that is either the click button or in some professionals use the back focus button also. What happens is once it is pressed means it will continuously sending the infrared rays or tracking the device for the metering. Then it will be on the loop and it will be continuously happening actually. It will not stop actually unless we release our hands actually. Then clicking the shutter means you will be getting the finest precise moment. So this is the three and the third one is AI focus means it's having the mixed it's some kind of fuzzy logic kind of things happening inside the camera. Like if that AI focus, auto intelligent focuses we are used for autofocus means it is the camera the some random times maybe a micromilli second wait for the subject is moving over. If there is no motion, then it automatically switches to a single shot, one shot. If it is detects some changes in the subject or changes in the area what we selected for focusing means it will camera will make a decision based on the motion and the subject. So there is also option to lock focus using that focus lock button actually. So this is normally it will be the focus lock will be on the click button, but normally we'll set on the camera actually. I hope this is clear about the autofocus modes in a camera. So this is generic shooting modes what we use for shooting in a camera, like some settings, what all settings used for shooting mode. So almost all cameras comes with this means manual aperture priority, shutter priority, and program mode. This is in some cameras it will be instead of A that will be listed, especially in Canon it will be listed as TV and AV actually. AV for aperture value, and instead of S it will be listed as TV time value. And we will having some other, you can see that one option is a green automatic means so that's fully automatic mode. And most of the cases in professional cameras it will be listed as C1, C2, C3 or something like custom or user setting. And in some cameras presets are there will be scene modes actually. So this is on the top of the this button will be dedicated on the topmost part of the camera, and we switch based on that actually. So this is the generic shooting modes given by the companies. So this is what the basic difference. AV, this AV term, AV and TV mode will be you can only see in a Canon camera. Otherwise, it will be listed as PASM. Instead of TV, there will be S dedicated S mode. Actually, it is for shutter priority. And scene modes. Scene modes, that button will won't be that, that may, you will not find scene modes in pro cameras actually. Instead of that, pro cameras will having user customizable button C1, C2, C3, or U1, U2, U3, something like that. So we'll see that what all options there in the program mode. If we once we set to program mode means what are the things can be done manually. uh, we'll see. This is the program. If we are selecting program mode, so what all things to be taken care actually, what all things to be we are getting manually set, and what all controls camera will automatically take. This is a safer option while we are clicking pictures uh, in a proper or a good lighting condition actually. The good part is the shutter speed of the camera and the aperture automatically selected by the camera based on the uh, light it is getting. So in this setting, what all things we can give manually, that is more important. So in this option we can we can having the control over the built-in flash actually. If professional models, there will not be built-in flash actually. So the normal amateur camera, there is, we can switch flash on or not, and we can also set the sensor sensitivity ISO manually, like 100, 200, and it also allows the exposure compensation. Like if we see that the ones the our uh, center of interest or subject is, we are anticipating something like that. It may this is average lighting or the changes in the condition of the light means we can able to slightly move around. We can insist the camera to shoot slightly overexposed. So for that we have a dedicated exposure compensation button. So that is also can be uh, enabled. So we must very careful about to use that control particularly. If we only want to shoot safer means, normally we'll go the normal zero level of the exposure compensation. And the final adjustment does it automatically allow to adjust the white balance. This is the general setting in any cameras using a program mode. And we go to the next mode, that is shutter priority. In shutter priority, as I said, it is listed as a TV in Canon cameras. Shutter priority means we can change the value of shutter actually manually, but the aperture that I from selected by the camera automatically based on the reading we are getting, the shutter speed setting actually. So again, this mode also we can set the ISO manually actually. So based on that, so why this mode is very important, because especially we are doing some fast photography or event or quick event sports or wildlife kind of things, or we don't get enough time to control all the buttons together. So we need to we need to use minimal settings manually, and we will try to use this to the faster exposure, or the kind of work we are doing actually. So based on that, we are going to shoot uh, a car moving fastly, it's quicker, or somebody riding on a bike. We need to freeze the action. Means we know that the subject will be freezed around 1 by 800 or 1 by 1000. Means we'll select the shutter immediately and click it. So this is the main advantage of using shutter priority. Then we also go for the next menu, aperture priority. In aperture priority, directly exactly opposite to the shutter priority. It is, we can set aperture manually. The f-stop number we can manually select. And like as I told you in shutter priority, that ISO also we can able to. So we can aperture we can able to select manually. Then the camera automatically select the shutter speed. Actually. So this is again to control our as you know that we were discussing that the f-stop number is purely the only control we can say. Give us how much area need to be clear, or how much area need to be clearly focused, or the area we will see it as a depth of the field control actually in a camera. We can say that the area comes under sharp focus. We can call it as a depth. Though how much area we need to come sharper in a particular frame, we can only having one control, that is aperture value. So in this case, now if you want to layer, we want to reduce the area, we will go for the lower number of f-stop. So this again, we need to have a good lens for layering. So because we need to use faster lens, means wider lenses like f 1.4 or 1.8 or something similar to that. Okay. Then we'll have a total control over the depth, and the only worry or only problem with this is subject is moving, means the shutter speed, we will not go for this mode actually, because we will always having trouble with the shutter speed, because it is all automatically selected by the camera. So once we are going for a static subject, we can play around using this one. Otherwise, we need to provide enough ISO or lighting condition to select more shutter speed and to expose the camera using aperture priority. That is about something. So again, there is the fourth one as manual mode, and scene mode is specific actually. That is that is presets given by the cameraman. Like there is a preset for portrait, preset for fireworks, something similar to that. Actually. So most of the cases you can if you are selecting any scene mode, it will be listed in the camera menu itself. Some there is also closer we are taking very nearby subjects or closer subjects. It will be almost comes in the scene modes actually. So the pro settings, the camera controls us completely for the photographer. Means we need to select manual. If we want to control our total control over the camera, means we need to use manual mode. So the complete setting we can decide to set actually. So we can say that in short, we can say that M mode is the only mode giving us the control over the camera and lenses. Okay. So that's so again the manual mode you can see we can select shutter speed, ISO, and it is listing the special value is giving in the metering. What all again the type of metering what we selected, it gives us here. So the menu in this slide we can see that it is selected manual mode, selected the shutter speed 1/250 f8 ISO 100 and giving us a 0 level metering actually. So and the next one, the top picture, we selected the shutter speed 125 and f11 and ISO 200, means it is giving us a reading of plus one stop plus lighting this. That means it is that lighting is almost we can say that it's double the lighting in the camera. So it will give more light in the frame, so it will be overlight or overexposed. The third option is you selected f125 again shutter speed 22, but the lighting condition is -1 actually. So one stop down actually. So this is all about the manual mode and the metering and setting. So which setting we should use? So we can say that when we are going to shoot manually, what is the control we sorry. So what all controls we need to be careful about in a triangle? If you are taking the exposure triangle, which all control need to be set first, or what need to be given the second and third? If you are taking the three controls. So ISO normally always will set the base numbers actually. If it is a minimum is 100 means we will always set the minimum ISO setting. Then aperture priority depends on the what of the time, the subject, and what all what is the subject we are shooting. Based on that, we'll set the aperture speed and shutter priority, or shutter speed or manual. If you're shooting manual means we will be deciding the required speed for that frame and required aperture actually. So ISO because always will the benchmark setting will be from the ground level, means the base level ISO actually. ISO will be the least the third priority, the third control we are giving. If if we are shooting in a outdoors and we will get abundant daylight or sunlight actually, so we can comfortably set to the minimum levels of ISO, and we can play around with the shutter and aperture. But we are taking something from the indoor means we'll have a problem with lights. There won't be proper light. So in that case, we depends on our camera's capacity to reproduce the image without the maximum. Always we will be after using, sometimes we know that this ISO will be best for this. So we'll be working on the ISO levels after that. So this is the thumb rule for controlling the three controls. So the histogram. Histogram is the graphical representation of the tonal values what we are getting from the picture actually. So basically, it is if you are almost all camera shows us this histogram actually. So after taking the picture, some cameras, if it is Nikon cameras, it will be that top arrow will be listing the histogram. Otherwise, in some cameras, the info button will give us the clicked images histogram. Basically, it shows it will list the tone level, and it is primary the colors that RGB colors levels also will be listing the three colors equivalent levels of the listing in the histogram actually. So in this, the first from the if we are starting from the left to right means the first will be the black, then shadows, midtones, highlights, and white. White means we are great if we are our graphers leaning towards the right end means it is overexposed. More lights are there in the frame actually. So based on this, we can adjust to the we can correct the light for once we take if we are finding a difficulty in reading the light properly means we can decide whether we can shift the button EB value. We can shift one level or sometimes what happens is there will be light in the frames, but our subject will the center of interest will be having less light. So in that case, we can go for the one step higher using the exposure compensation button actually. So these sort of things, when we decided from the histogram. So we'll go for the basic how to frame what all things to be, what all areas to be given more importance, what all things to be given, that all things, we decide uh, depends on the frame to frame, and it depends on the photographer. If there is a group of photographers taking the same subject, so each frame will be different actually, because yeah, each of us having a different perspective or inner eye to see a subject, and or we will be having a different mindset what we are going to shoot actually. So helping that, uh, a couple of methods or suggested ways to compose a frame. That is, this is almost the same technique are used by the painters. So the in this given picture, there's the grids. You can see that it's horizontally and vertically two cross lines, and equally the entire frame is divided into equal 9 rectangles actually. So and that kid is placed on the left vertical, and the passing horizontal grid actually. That's what we can see. The right two-thirds left for a spacing actually. So we will call it as this is rule of third. Normally this kind of, this is a wider composition techniques used in uh, almost, if you want movies or whatever photographs or movies you take, or landscape pictures, or even portrait also, we will be using this kind of rule of third composition technique. It's very popular. So what I can suggest is there is no hard and fast rules for composition actually. So that depends, that depends on the subject, depends on the environment we are around. So in this case, that the one-third space is left for spacing the foreground of the subject actually. Then the center portion is finalized for uh, placing the subject, and at the left portion, left grid actually. So the right person, because normally our eyes tendency to see, passing, see the left to right actually in this frame. If you see this frame, normally it is the definitely it is our our eye almost travels like left to right actually, and this is a wonderful combination technique, especially for this picture actually. And so this is one technique we are normally used for composing a frame. Again, the composition is, again, this is a popular composition technique used in painters actually. So in this, the left side, you can see that almost a square, and on the top of that, again, a square. Then the left portion is, this is called the golden ratio actually. So a lot of popular works, or this is also very paint, especially if you are taking the master's painting works, it's all based on this composition actually. So this is the golden ratio. We will call it as golden ratio. It's again, it's a huge technique used in for photography and cinematography actually. For taking the landscape, and if it is if there is we in camera, we have also options to use the proper the top and bottom of the sensor area to be left, like if we are there is a proposition like 2:3, or 5:3, or 16:9. There is also setting in the camera actually. So in that case, this golden ratio won't be working properly actually. So most of the sensors are 2:3 sensors are coming as the size, in the sense means the wider portion is having 3, and height will be 2:3 sensors. So composing the golden ratio, there won't be any problem actually, or a rule of of the realm. So this is about the composition. So this is something playing one of my picture, just how effectively the natural light are used. This is this picture, I think almost everyone can see it properly. This is a picture I taken early morning. Then you can see that the natural, how we can use the natural light and how we can use layering the, there is only a very small area comes under sharp focus in the picture. It's a layered picture actually. You can see that it's a wide open aperture set actually. So I'll show the show this picture separate in my uh, there is a slideshow I have prepared for showing my works. In that, this picture will be there. So what I want to say about this, how the natural light can be used properly for taking a picture. This is this picture is one among them. So this is shoot this picture I shot from Kabani forest, that is Nagarhola National Park, early morning around 6:30, 6:45. And the lens I was using is that time was 300 mm 2.8, slightly expensive lens. This is again how we can use natural lights for shooting portraits. This both pictures are taken using the natural lights. There is no external lights used actually. The second one. So these pictures are there in my slideshow. We'll discuss more on that. Okay. So this is what high speeds are used for freezing the actions. So this is about the basic things. So we'll go for few controls like we say what yeah, a few more things we need to be clear what we missed. The first one is I hope everyone can see the screen, right? Excuse me. Pooja is there? Sorry.
So your screen share is working.
It's working fine.
Yeah, it was working. Now it's gone.
What about now? Oh, okay,
Yeah,
fine.
it's yeah.
So this is an important thing we need to be careful while selecting or before buying a camera. So this is purely the color range, the bit capacity. So that means most of the cameras in the market are coming with 10 bit and 12 bit actually. So, and very few cameras are coming with that 14 bit support actually. So slightly expensive actually. So the bit depth for each almost all sensors are calibrated using the primary RGB color pattern actually. So the color range of the each uh, that is the primary colors what we are using the sensor means red, green, blue, right? So each red shade having a capacity of arranging, that is 10 bit means it can go up to the possible uh, 1024 shades actually. And 12 bit camera means that each of this color range, each of the red, green, blue can go up to the shades actually. The particular color tone can we go from the low, that is mean light. If you take a blue color means light blue to the dark blue means 4095 for this. If you are going a camera with 12 bit bit depth, that is the the primary color range. Each company is giving different actually. So there are some cameras with 14 bit also coming actually. So depend on our that is giving us more color range actually. So it depends on our the last the tonal possible combination. This is the tonal possible combination listed here is, see, if we are using three colors, right? The three colors means the three colors are red, green, blue. If you take if it is 10 bit, that is it will be multiplied. So the combination of these colors, that is the listed on the third actually. So if it is a 10 bit, we'll be getting 1 billion colors. If it is a 12 bit, we'll be getting 68 billion colors. If it is a 14 bit, we will be getting 4.39 trillion colors in that camera. That what I mentioned in the last tonal possibilities actually. It's a combination of the red, green, blue actually. Hope it is clear. So another important the menu we need to means I want to say quickly very, because this is the mode of selecting
I'm
a
sorry, the folder is open, not that
picture is not the
image. Yeah.
one second. Load.
Now, I suggest if you may share your laptop screen, then it will
Yeah,
show
now it is
whatever
fine.
is there. Yeah, now it
Now
is.
it is fine. Okay. This is this screen about selecting AF point in a camera actually. So the first case, that the center in the only the you can see that only one red square actually. This mode, the focus actually we are selected AF a single point actually. That is only this single point will be moved on the AF areas. We can move around in anywhere in the. You can see that in the if you take the fourth square actually, fourth picture, you can see that you can see multiple points, and in that the center is enabled. So that is the complete area we can move around in the frame actually for placing the subject. So outside that the matrix, or outside that inside square box, we cannot move around throughout the frame actually. This is the main limitation of any DSLR actually. But if you are using mirrorless camera, you can play around the entire screen, because it is that is the most flexible, almost around, we can say around 90%. In digital SLR cameras, higher end cameras are only having 60% or 65% access to move around the focus points in the frame actually. So in this, the first one is spot, and the second one is again spot with AF assisted points. That is the again that 8 points will assist to moving the focus. So this is basically used for larger bigger subject. Then we cannot use that means that area will be we will not miss that area So we can move. It's a group of points to move together along with our jog dial. So select the third is again it's a block focus actually. That block particular full block will be focused at. In the last fourth one again, I told you the listed with a single point, and the fifth one is again it shows how much area can be focused, how much how much points are enabled for moving. The the sixth one is just if you are selecting the focus mode automatic means what all things comes on the front, that area will be focused automatically using a random numbers. In this case, the sixth screen, you can see that around 6 points are enabled for focusing. This is basically based on the camera to camera. It is different actually. This is particularly listed. This screen is listed only from the autofocus. Again, the last one is around four points in a diagonal way we can move around. The 4 points are enabled for assisting the focus actually. So this is one. This is need to be you must be very clear once what kind of AF need to be selected. So AF again, we can select a single point, a spot focus, and a group or a block assisted, and you can also select auto enabled focus. Auto enabled focus means you don't have any choice actually. What happens is the subject what comes in the frame frontal portion, what all infrared will go from the camera and hit that particular thing. That particular thing will be focused. We don't have any choice. So for controlled focusing, normally we'll select single spot or AV assisted points. That is on the second screen, or you can see in the last seventh block actually. That will be used for changing the focus area in a DSLR cameras. So normally almost all DSLR camera having minimum 3 settings. One is single point, one is automatic, and one is AF assisted with this group of a group of 4 or a group of 8 actually assisted focusing points. But in mirrorless, we have enough space to move around the focus areas in the viewfinder or in the LCD actually. So this is all about our controls and basic things. Then one more feature I want to share is we discussed yesterday. I want to show one picture. This picture I shot in the morning actually. This I selected 85 mm lens to shoot this picture actually. So I just want to compare how the lens are behaving for a same exposure, the same f-stop, same shutter speed, and same ISO. So we are changing. We shot 3 pictures, and I show you 3 pictures. This one, the first one, I shot this picture using. Again, there is a problem, I believe. 1 second, I'll sort out. Okay, now it is clear. Okay. So this is the picture I shot using 85 mm lens. So I selected f number 2.8 and shutter speed 100 and ISO 1250. So we'll take the next one. The next one is it is not loaded. One sec. Top screen share. Just one sec. Again, screen share. No, there is a problem. Okay. Well, sort. Let me check. Excuse me. I'll sort.
I think sir's screen got freeze.
Yes, now it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
Okay. So look at this picture actually, the see that exposure I have used for this. I shot in the morning actually, one of my student actually. I shoot around 9:30. So I used three different lens, the same frame. The first case, the same exposure actually. I just want to show you how the how what all things to be taken care, selecting the lens, or what all the things to be done, placing a subject to how to shoot a portrait properly. Actually, you can see that this is the first case I shoot using 40 mm. The second one you can see that it is 50 mm lens, very inexpensive lens. Both lens 40 mm and 50 lens. This lens, both of the first one 40 mm lenses f-stop, you can start work. You can it's a lens the speed is 2.8 lens speed, and the 50 mm lens you can use from 1.8 actually. But this second particular frame I used 2.8 because I want to have the same exposure actually. For that I selected shutter speed 100, f2.8, ISO 1250. This is the natural lights actually. I have not used any supplemental light. Just want to show you that how three different lens, that is 85, 50 and 45 mm lens reacts to the scene actually. So you can see that what is the main difference you feel. The first one is we have more area, more feel. We can say that the angle of view, or we can say that the frame, the we got a wider picture. The in photograph we can say that the angle of view, or the angle of view is more actually. If you take the diagonal or wider horizontal or vertical, there is more area. Like we can see that we can see his legs to the bottom, like the background, the full left side is completely covered. On the right portion slightly cut, on the hands, right elbow part is slightly cut. The second frame, what happens is we have less area comparing the first one actually. That what happened is the angle of view is compromised. But what is the plus and minus? If we take the plus of the first images, we have more angle of view. The second one is we have less angle of view. But in the, if you compare the first and two, means see, look at the size of the head actually. The magnification is changing once we are using higher number in the focal length, right? From 40 to 50 means what happens is that the magnification is changed, but the frame is almost same. Again, you can see there is a stand behind that hat actually. You can see the top portion actually. That is very clear in the first frame. The all three frame I shoot the camera, and the camera to subject distance is just 5 feet actually. The three frames I shoot from the 5 feet. If you are using a wider lens, what happens is the depth of the field, that is the area, comes under sharp focus is that range is very large. Actually, we can say that more depth of the field is there, even though we are using the same f-stop number. Actually, so this one I want to make sure that the f-stop number we can play around the DOF, but again that is can be controlled, so, because different lens behave different in same f-stop number actually. So that is the core idea behind these three pictures. I want to show you the three things: how the depth is involved in this actually, how the depth varies from the first case to the 40 mm to 85 mm. So the second case, the second picture is a compromised, right? Because the background stand, we can see that it's slightly blur. But what happens if you compare the first one and the second one, the middle picture is having slightly more comparing to that, it compromised in the field of view, but we can see that the angle of view is almost, it is in the middle, but the lighting condition is almost same, but depth is in the if you compare the first one and the third one, the depth is in the middle range actually. The third one is we got, if you are keen on the portrait area or center portion of the frame, means this is the picture, because we have good magnification, size of the face, everything is perfectly all right. And if we slightly zoom, we can see what happened. So see. So I'm slightly moving inside. Just see that. See how much layering is done if you take the depth of the field. The sharper area, you can see that from the north. I actually focus the focus. My focus point is on the left eye. From this area to this area, it is very sharp. And from if you then even though we are using 2.8, from reaching the ear, it is completely almost completely out of focus in this area. Actually, you can see that. If you take the second picture, see that. We will zoom slightly more. This area we can comparing to the last one. This is more visible, and we can see that this is more area is for. And if you take this one, we have more area focused, that even though we are using the same exposure and f-stop number. So here is here on the top portion. It is slightly blur. This is completely blur. Even though even the top side of the hat itself also slightly out actually. But here it is, the hat is sharp. So this is what the lens behave actually even. So these kind of pictures better you shoot and practice actually. That is a suggestion. And this the middle lens actually, that is you will get in the market around for 7,000 to 8,000 rupees. The wonderful lens to play around. You can play around good portraits. You can play around with layering, DOF. You can practice it properly. And this is all about using lenses and how we for the normal, the professional lens used for shoot portraits, this is the lens 85 mm will be used for portrait. This lens having power up to 1.4, and this lens is slightly expensive, but are used in the what I use today. And if you want, I can show you. Just a minute. This is the lens. This is the lens used for today's shoot. You can see that. is listed. I hope it is clear. The next part is I'll show you some of my work. Few selected for today. So just a second.
So slightly up on the camera.
Okay.
Okay.
Is it okay now?
Yeah.
Now I want to show, this is the smaller, the other lens I used to shoot. Is it clear? This
Yes,
is
sir.
the 50 mm lens. This is the cheapest lens. What I told you, this is, you can go up to 1.8 f-stop. This will available in the market from 7,500 to 8,000 rupees maximum. Online shops you can get. And the third lens I've used is very thin lens, very small lens. 40 mm means this is the lens. See, it's just between the two fingers. Just two fingers. And see, compare with my finger size. See, this is the thickness. This is 40 mm 2.8. This is again less than 10,000 rupees. So these two you can easily find out in the market. There is 85 mm. There is one more lens, cheaper. Actually, it will be the cost will be close to 23,000, 24,000. It is 85 mm 1.8. If somebody is seriously interested to portrait and they don't want to spend more on this lens, they can go for the 85 mm lens. Actually, it's a wonderful lens actually. So that's about our sessions for the today, and I can share you some of my works. Seriously interested to see.
Yes, that will be great.
So I'll go with my wildlife pictures first. Few of my wildlife pictures actually. Okay. It is not loaded. No. Again, screenshot. I don't know why a lot of delay in loading my pictures. Yeah, now it is now. So I hope this is clear.
Yes, sir, it's clear. It's beautiful.
This is a racket-tailed drongo. Actually, I shot from forest from Kerala. It's a bird sanctuary, actually, famous bird sanctuary in the name of Salim Ali.
Okay.
Let me check. Full actual size. This is the size. Okay. Now. Fit to screen. Okay. The second picture is loaded, right? Okay. This is a kingfisher. See, this is this. I know how beautifully I use the background out of the photo. So there is no distracted background. So this is here you can shoot higher profile, larger profile lens, and using your f-stop, we can completely blown out the background of the picture. This is an action shot. on the flight. I used 1,250 shutter speed for shooting this picture, and top number is it's a daylight shoot. F-stop number is 7.1. This is again from it's a Corbett National Park.
Wonderful.
Corbett National Park.
How many days did you actually spend to,
120 to 140 days rolling to Corbett each year.
Oh.
Actually, last 3 years I'm working on a documentary video documentary. It's
Okay.
not yet completed. So this is greater Fontaine is the Malabar Fontaine. It's from Kerala. It's the state bird of Kerala. So, yeah, might have seen that catching fish. Hope this picture is loaded. Okay, fine. Have you seen this?
Which animal is this?
This is actually it is otter.
Okay.
Otter means mostly it comes to the land, but mostly in the water actually, like a seal actually.
Okay. See.
Seal kind of thing actually. This I shot from a boat actually while shooting a documentary. This is again from Periyar Tiger Reserve. Tekadi, the famous place. Again, the famous Corbett.
Okay, this is Corbett.
This is the same picture from the cabinet I was talking about.
So I have a question from
Yes.
Varun Seni. In every picture, you change your camera lenses?
Yes. Normally, when I go to the field, actually, I use 3 cameras with the 3 bodies and 3 lenses because I don't get enough time to shoot, especially wildlife. Mostly, I keep 3 bodies and 3 lenses ready to shoot. Actually.
Okay.
So one is normally we need to shoot landscape, like the picture we have seen the back, right? So this is we need wider frame, right? We are used to most of the areas, so we need to have a wider lens. So we will be having a standard 24 mm or 1635 for shooting. We need to cover more area.
So is it actually is it convenient that you use DSLR, which is then you don't have to change the lenses so frequently?
It is okay actually. I used to have 3 cameras normally actually carrying it.
Okay.
Actually, this is from the Bandipur National Park, actually, Karnataka. Then actually, this is the elephants are trying to actually the forest management process. They would they put salt in the land. Actually, they will make some pits and mix with mud with salt and water. Actually, so elephants are very they are very like to taste the salt actually. So that's what the salt pit actually. So it's a group. This is again Corbett National Park, the famous Parvali tiger. Actually. I was there in Corbett actually the first week of April from around 4-5 days I was there. Actually. This is my recent picture actually. This one I shot on 10th of this month, April. I hope it is clear, right?
Yes, it's clear.
Okay. This is Dole, actually, wild dog. This is from Africa. The lion meeting.
Where? In which country?
Africa. This is Kenya.
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 Masai Mara.
Yeah. This is again from Kenya. Masai Mara.
2015. In 2015, I was also
Yeah, okay. This is Agma from
Oh.
Africa. It's African.
Hmm.
This is one to giving a perspective how tall is this giraffe to see the zebra. So you want to compare. This is rhino from Nakuru National Park, Kenya. Rhino group. This is also from Bandipur. This is Lake Nakuru. Nakuru National Park again. Lion comes. Lion. Male lion.
This the previous lion was looking like a cover of a book.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Isn't it beautiful, guys? You can send in your comments for the pictures also. What quality should have we are going to photography? What quality?
Quality in the sense, you mean?
I think resolution.
Resolution normally with 22-24 megapixel is enough. All the faster cameras comes with lesser resolution actually. The kind of camera which I'm using is having 20 megapixel. 1DX is the mostly used for shooting my pictures actually. 1DX Mark II. It is having 20 megapixel, but it is having good low light image quality. We can shoot in very low light and faster frame rate. We can shoot up to 16 frames in a second, and it's faster focusing. So mostly wildlife photographers prefer to use higher frame rate camera.
Okay.
This is again the first week of this March actually. I think shot online from the Corbett actually. Corbett. Brown fish owl habitat shot. This is again from Corbett. This is from my home yard actually. So I
Wow.
3 days back.
Wonderful pictures. It's Firdaus Khalil is saying wonderful pictures, and these are really amazing pictures. Though you have reminded me of Kenya with these pictures when I've been there in 2015. We've been to this elephant orphanage and the crocodile.
Yeah.
The feeding ground of crocodiles.
Yes.
So could you go there and click the pictures of?
No. I never been to this captive area actually, especially in Kenya actually.
Okay.
So I've been to Ambosuli. I've gone actually. Ambosuli I've gone because we need to, if we want to shoot bigger task with the background of this Mount Kilimanjaro, we need to go Ambosuli. There is no other place in the world.
Yeah, Arusha and Masai Mara.
Yeah.
Wonderful, guys. I must tell you, that's a beautiful place. Kenya, Tanzania, and when we are talking about Masai Mara is a part of Serengeti National Park.
Park, yes.
Yeah.
It is spread in Tanzania and Kenya.
Yeah, Kenya. And I think during this time, May, June, July, I think 50 to 80% of wildlife photographers are available over there.
Yeah.
And capturing the great migration.
Yes. This is in a cheetah from this is Masai Mara actually.
Yeah.
You might have seen peacock pictures, but not like this actually.
Not like this.
Because peacock won't allow to. No, this picture I shot using 50 mm lens. That is the only using. That is the only way to completely blur the back feathers actually. So and I just shot the portrait, and because luckily this peacock not attack me actually. So
It's beautiful.
this is again a flying peacock actually between the clouds. To just give an
So
hint that
all the
tall.
aspiring photographers or aspiring wildlife photographers, I think your dream destination is going to be Masai Mara and
And
Serengeti and Ngorongoro.
yeah, I've been there all 2 times. And this
Okay.
is cheetah portrait.
I have been there
This
5 times, continuously every
okay.
5 years, like from
Okay.
2011 to 2016.
So you are interested, or husband is more interested? You might
Both
have
of
seen
us.
this. You might have seen this bird, right?
Yeah, but I don't
Secretary.
remember the name. I'm bad with
Secretary bird.
names.
This is secretary bird.
Okay.
So this is completely, that background is completely out actually. So
Hmm.
luckily, I can shoot very closer range actually. That's interesting. Have you seen this? This is monitor lizard.
Monitor lizard, yes.
This is from the
And they
Tekadi,
look,
the famous
although
Tekadi.
I must say it's looking cute over here, but when you actually encounter them face
Yeah,
to face, they're very ugly.
exactly. Then cheetah again. Catch with the catch. Rabbit. Different angle. Yeah, line curves. The male line.
The roaring lion.
Meaning, uh, serpent eagle. Actually. See, you can see the details. Like now, if you focus, see the details of the texture. This is Amboseli National Park.
Okay.
Playing it, the detail. I hope it is clear. Even though the resolution is not a big issue, actually, it is just 20 megapixels. For wildlife, that is more than enough. Again, a small tusker. Have you seen this? No.
No.
This is mouse deer, the smallest deer in India. Mouse deer. It's a very shy animal. We can only track in the night. Actually, using the torchlight, I shoot this from Periyar Tiger Reserve
Wow.
using an LED torchlight.
It's size of a mouse or
Yeah,
just a
it's just the size of a bigger rabbit. That's it.
bigger rabbit? Okay.
Yeah, but it is it is a deer actually.
Wonderful.
This is from a Bharatpur actually.
It's an owl.
Owl, yeah.
Wow.
This picture was
You're taking us to a different era. Now we are feeling there is no corona and we are all in with the nature.
anyone know any idea what is this?
I have seen this, but I don't remember the name. Does
Sle-
anyone know?
It's slender loris. Slender loris.
Slender Loris.
Slender, yeah. It's a white bird.
Nice.
The different perspective, how you can see it. This is my 16th trip, Amboseli. This is a habitat shot how the animal species appear in the barland using a wide angle lens. The Bharatpura. Pelican. Starling, Africa.
Ostrich.
Ostrich. Yeah, this is, I'm trying to use the rule of third composition actually. So this how again this is again rule of third composition. Early morning, Africa.
Oh,
Frog actually taking that is from my close to my home here.
I just got a comment that I'm enjoying this session and I feel like that I'm right now with the nature. So am I. I think everybody's feeling the same.
This is from Bandu Good.
Hmm.
This I take shot from top of an elephant actually. Be very near, very close to shot actually.
So, one question I think
Yes.
that must have been coming in the mind of all
Yeah.
these aspiring photographers watching you, how
Okay.
rewarding it is. When I am, as an outsider, I'm looking at your pictures.
Yes.
I'm amazed,
Okay.
right? Although I'm a nature lover, I'm animal lover, but I am not a photographer.
Yes.
How rewarding it is for a professional photographer. When we talk about rewarding, it means financially, of course, plus your the satisfaction that you get with these pictures. That inner satisfaction is also very rewarding. So how does it work? Because now mostly the students are watching. They must have been planning that maybe in 2 years, 3 years, they'll also fly to this place to click the pictures like this or something.
No, mostly the wildlife. If you are seriously interested, only you go for wildlife. And if we see the career option, or if you someone is focused entirely for the career things, I I recommend wildlife filmmaking is better than wildlife photography. So for my pictures, actually, I shot um, without considering other things actually, because I am a keen wildlife nature lover from my childhood itself, and I travel a lot from the childhood. And that is only reason, even after my this my graduation also, in between I've done a course from WWF-India for wildlife management. So actually I'm a trained wildlife manager from WWF-India. It's a sponsored program from Ministry of Forest and Environment.
Okay.
So what I'm trying to say is, if someone keen to take a career, there are options, but the problem is working in India in photography as a reporter or a photojournalist, especially working on this environment or nature, because uh, there is a very if you take the payroll, or the package what offering in Indian newspapers compared to very less actually comparing to foreign countries actually. If it is a foreign country, that will be good, well and good. So in India the demand is always for wildlife filmmaking 100%, because uh, foreign filmmakers are very they don't prefer to come to India actually, because uh, first of all, getting permission in India is very difficult. More, and the filmmakers abroad, like, actually uh, uh, will come for shoot only with the big crews actually. Then that is not allowed in Indian forest actually. So yeah, Indian wildlife filmmaking, there is a good opportunity to explore actually for the. I'm talking to the youngsters actually. So a lot of assignments are giving to the freelancers actually.
Okay.
So that
And
area
it's
need
in,
to.
yeah, photography is in demand.
Yes, yes. Photography, if you compare with photography and videography, there is more demand for the video footages from India.
So your volume has gone low.
Yeah, yeah. I'm talking about video having more requirement actually now, because the online platform was very popular now everywhere throughout the world, and all the media online OTT platform are looking for the 4K video footages. So there is a huge potential. Actually, that's what I'm talking about. I want to show you some fashion pictures. It is, I don't know, it's loading, it's coming. I think it's,
So by the time it's open, I'll take a question of Swastika
yeah,
Manu. She's
yes,
saying,
yes.
what is the fungus on the lens?
Fungus due to the the moisture. Actually, that if it is open towards the wet surface or humidity, lens are getting fungus inside. Actually, it's kind of it is kind of bacteria actually forming inside. Then it will grow and it will create damages to the coating of the lens, and to some stage, even using the chemicals, we cannot clear it out. So always we need to keep our lenses in a dry box. Actually, if you want to see dry box, I'll show you my dry box.
Oh.
Just 1 sec. This is a dry box. This is the dry box where we
Okay.
can camera. I think it's clear. Can keep the lenses, camera. So it is always connected, and humidity can be controlled. There's a,
So basically, if you take care of your lenses, they are in dry
yes,
state and kept in a dry place,
right.
then there is no issue of fungus. Gee. All right. So I see one more question coming up. Can we remove it? Swastika is again saying, can we remove the
Yeah,
fungus?
we it depends on the intensity the fungus cost actually. If it is on the first two elements on the front or first two elements on the back side, we can clear it out. Otherwise, we'll have a difficulty in clearing the fungus actually.
Okay.
If it is inside,
You have to take care of your lenses like you take care of yourself.
yes.
Clean, hygienic, and
Any other questions?
I'll quickly check the question. So how can we use manual mode when we are using a camera?
Question is not clear. How can we use manual mode?
Manual mode for a camera.
Manual mode, we need to dial the top mode button. Mostly on all camera, it will be on the topmost side actually. So if you take, I'll show you. You can see that, right? This is the mode. This is EOS R. This is, I don't know whether it is clear. There is a mode button. So you need to press the mode and will turn. It shows M actually in the display. So I'll show you a different camera. Yes. See this camera. This is the mode button actually. This button we can easily change. Now
Okay.
it is an M mode. It's clear, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. This is the mode button. Any other questions? So only three questions so far, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So
And
now,
I'll take one more from you. I'm getting this compliments, giving good answers, and thank you so much for the wonderful session. And just one more thing I'd like to ask: what is the core, uh, uh, if I'll say, photography, videography is everywhere,
yes.
right? Everybody now, even on social media and on magazine, on print, any kind of media, and even entertainment, when we are watching the films, the videos are all there.
Yes.
So, what do you see the future of a photographer? Earlier, they used to be only for weddings,
No,
right?
that is, it's a very good question actually. Uh, we are on a transition stage right now. So the content is the core thing need to be drive for the up 10 next decade. The content, the digital content, especially digital content, digital entertainment industry, digital media, yeah, it's going to roll actually. So if you take the example, TCS digital marketing team, digital marketing, you know that, right? They need photographers, they need videographers, they need animators. They all work together as a team actually. So the marketing, the sales scenario is shifting purely to the web platform now. So the content, the demand for content, all kind of content. If you take the last years, the market sizes, it's 16 to 18,000 plus only for the digital media content. And I'm not talking about the film industry. It's not that's a different thing actually. So now that if you are somebody looking for the next level of career means uh, need to be very good in yeah, photography is the core, the basic thing. You want to shoot videos also, the core. What you for what do you need to set as your basics on the skill in photography. Then again need to be a good videographer or a cinematographer or even photojournalist or whatever it may be. So this is the core thing need to be learned. Actually. So the future, the next decade is going to for the digital content. Actually. Then if you take the services companies like Wipro, TCS had pre-sales had as my colleague. Actually, he used to come to Salesforce for post production. So I know them personally, how fast is the industry is going. Personally, I know that I can feel the pulse actually. Because even I do have a small startup actually. That is whole company called Leo Media. So we are providing the contents for smaller medium companies that all platforms like web. So there is a good bright future for everyone, but we need to be restricted for function or wedding actually. uh, there is no end of the world actually.
And the sky is the limit. Now,
Yes.
as we are trying to close the session, I'm getting more questions. Maybe I
Yeah.
think this is a very relevant question. Satpal Verma wants to know what is the difference between mobile photography and camera photography. Plus,
No.
there is somebody saying, "Sir, I'm a sports photographer."
Okay. Okay.
Varun Saini is saying he's a sports photographer. Is
Okay,
there any
you want to
scope
be,
in sports
yeah.
photography?
So first I'll take the first question as regarding the again the mobile and
Yeah, yeah.
you can't compare with the mobile photography and or camera professional camera photography. The mobile there is a lot of limitation from getting the details, getting the getting the range of the working level of in state of controlling the test and control environment issues. We can use mobile photography for a simple thing like a documentation process or a basic thing. Apart from that, the photography part, mobile is having a lot of limitations because the mobile camera having a smaller sensor and that integrate. If you take the normal technical term, I can say that if you take the pixel density in a mobile camera and pixel density in a uh, SLR camera, pixel density is nothing but a square mm how many pixels are integrated. If you take the mobile, it is having 4 or 5 times than SLR camera or mirrorless camera. So what the problem was, we can say that it is having good resolution, but the problem with we have a very small pixels, very small size of details need to be recorded. So if we want to reproduce it in a higher level, means the mobile camera is having a limited charge. So we'll not recording the proper color or proper shade or proper lighting. So that area maybe we can say that maybe in future maybe they will come up with the different technologies and different kind of sensor uh, integration techniques maybe but as it is lot of limitations, lot of limitations. So mobile we can hardly keep for recording our basic things or documentation purpose. Apart from that it is limited. Then other question was regarding the sport photography. Of course, there is always demand for the sports photographers. So you need to complete, as usual, you need to be, the first thing you need to be, do some, mass communication or journalism course first. Then go take the photography course or a photojournalism course. And there are, the fourth state is in huge demand. Like, we cannot keep away from our things, day-to-day activities. Right? There is always demand for the photographers, sports photographers. But be in a specific. But if you take the number, if you take the numbers, maybe lesser options. But, if somebody is passionate to be a sport photographer, definitely you will become. So you work towards it. That's it. That is my advice from me.
Okay, wonderful. Just last one more question, and then we are going
Please,
to
please,
close this
please,
session.
please, please.
So, which camera company do you prefer, and which lens can blur
Yeah,
the background to great measure? That's a question from Daksh Pillai.
that's true. Okay. That is the most often question asked in any photography class. There is, I can hardly say that, we have a limited companies now. So, if you take the four prominent companies out there, I use Canon mostly. Canon. I prefer Canon because a lot of other things. Actually. I have a lot of lenses. I started my photography Canon. So lens availability is a huge, and I like the color calibration in Canon. And if you take technology part, if you take the company size, the Canon is one among the biggest in the world. So we will at least have a good technology support in near future also. Uh, if you take other companies like if you take Sony is also competing very good with Canon now. They come up with actually the mirrorless technology. They come with the first cameras in the market. Now they are very much stabilized in the mirrorless technology, and they have launched a wonderful product. So Sony, Canon, as if you compare, both of them are, one of the finest camera makers in the world, right? So if someone is a starter, they want to have, they can go for it. So someone already using some platform, maybe, but if they stick with, traditional companies like Canon or Nikon. So Nikon again released a lot of good models, but even initially it was as I told you, the mirrorless, they bit a bit lack launching new products. Now, there are some. I think last 2020 they released very good models, and that is also good. The the fourth company is, I can say, Panasonic. The Panasonic also launched a wonderful product in 2019. I can say that they are one of the finest products launched right now. Their products like S1 series is a wonderful product. And they can match any broadcast video quality. With lot of features they are giving in a smaller price product like high-end movie. So someone wants to shoot video and as well as photograph also, then in a high quality format, that Panasonic S1 series, S1 X is wonderful product. Like Netflix is approved that product. Netflix content, they're restricted for particular series of cameras. And they have a listed camera. If you want to give something, you want to shoot something, and then you want to give the Netflix, it must be a Netflix compiling camera. So if we take the four companies, Canon is only one product actually, Netflix combined. Two products actually. That is one is Cine series. Cine series they have a couple of models, but if you take the compact size, they have one day Mark III and the Cine series C70. And but the Sony so far no products are certified from the Netflix. Maybe they have released a new product called A1. I think Netflix maybe that also they're likely to be included in their list. So Nikon so far there is no product Netflix compiling. So when we are serious about making the content, actually we should think those angles also. That's what my small suggestion when you are going for a hardware. But for starters, you don't need to worry about it. You just find out, your what is your budget, and in that budget, if you are a starter, actually you can go for any Sony or any other product. And if you have some hardware to use it, but you stick with that platform. Actually, you have Nikon lenses. Don't for exchange or don't for a big investment. That is my personal advice to all of them. Even things are coming up. Technologies maybe we cannot limit any company's productivity. That is my advice.
Right. So, with this wonderful session, first of all, I'd like to thank Noushad sir for spending your time with us, for giving so much information, so much technical information to our candidates who have been aspiring photographers. And of course, to a layman like me, I'm a traveler, but I did not know about these nitty-gritties of photography. But now, maybe in my next trip, I can also click some pictures.
Definitely. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Give me a wonderful opportunity for me to explore the entire photography country from South India, especially. I think this is a wonderful experience for me. To be frank, I tell you, this is the first online live session from my entire life. I've never been tried actually because I given a smaller group, but it is an interactive session actually. It's not like because for me it is, to be frank, it is a bit difficult because I cannot see the faces and how the people react. That is having my the personal input for it. But it's an amazing experience. At least I got a good opportunity to answer people's questions also. So
Yes,
thank
and
you for
for
all the entire team from the Mohit to everyone there actually. Personally,
thank you so
I
much,
thank
sir. And to our aspiring photographers, I'd like to mention that on 4th of May, Now we are coming from photography to acting. On
Okay.
4th of
Okay.
May, we'll have a session on acting tips for the bright-eyed beginners.
Oh,
Yes, for the new aspiring actors and even the photographers, because when you learn about acting, you can, take that angle or their emotions very well. You can capture well in the camera. So that's coming on 4th of May. That's coming Tuesday for you. And with this, I have also given you the feedback form link that you can share your feedback with us. You can also mention what next session do you want to watch, what exactly you want to learn, and we'll try to arrange a webinar or a series of workshops for based on your demand. And yes, the COVID is increasing across the country. And so we all need to be strong. We all need to be together in fighting this virus. So stay home to fight the virus. Take care of yourself and take care of your families. Stay tuned. We'll be back on Tuesday with another session on acting. Till then, take care, enjoy. Anything you have missed in this session, you can go back to our YouTube channel and watch it again. We are available on all the social media handles. Do like, subscribe to our channels, and to get the updates and information. This, thank you so much, Noshad sir, and thank you so much, the lovely students watching, and of course, last but not least, lovely professional university for uh, being partnering with us for this wonderful workshop. Okay, guys, be creative. Me, you can click your pictures, put them on social media, and do tag Media and Entertainment Skills Council with Yadan, and let's see how creative you are. So take care, enjoy. We'll see you on Tuesday.